Imagine a world where you could think of anything possible and create it within minutes. Having this ability would surely change the trajectory of anyone's life, and your only limit would be your own creativity. This is what happened to me a few days ago when I decided to try to use AI to build an app that I was thinking about one day. I wanted a simple way to track my progress on different movements. And I wanted an app that was easy to use, but didn't involve all the other fitness related content that other workout tracker apps usually have. I just wanted a clean, simple tracking app. One day, while I was on my way home from my girlfriend's house, I decided to voice type in a Google Doc all the functions that I wanted my app to have, and I didn't really think anything of it. I've seen some media coverage of people using AI to make apps, but I couldn't really connect the dots because I didn't have any personal experience with it. And if you ask the average person what their view of AI is, and they even think it's capable, they'll likely shrug it off and tell you it's not as good as it looks. Well, it may be true in some cases. My experience was completely different. I watched this concept that I had in my head become real in an instant. It was the most exhilarating thing because before this type of project would be nearly impossible. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I do have some prior programming knowledge, but I didn't use that once in my entire creation of this app. All I did was paste in native language and got a real result, one I could test and understand how it worked. I could talk to the AI and ask it to put in features and fix bugs that I noticed. And again, this is all with native language, so there's no learning curve, and all you really need is creativity. Looking back on this experience, it kind of changed the way that I personally look at AI. I know that many people have their reservations about how powerful this technology can be, but I encourage you to just try it for yourself. If you ever thought of a highly specific app and how it works and how it would look, but you just have no idea how to start, or you wrote it off as it was too much work, just try using AI. I actually initially used ChatGPT to refine my voice recording, and then I was able to put that through Figma Make, which is a Figma product that is really good for basic designs and, again, makes a design in minutes. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by either of these products, but I thought the whole experience was surreal and amazing. So if you guys want the steps broken down for how to do this yourselves, here it is. Type or voice record yourself pitching the idea of an app. This doesn't have to be super clean or super accurate in terms of grammar. It just needs to convey the idea enough to give AI a head start in understanding what you want. The more specific you get, the closer the product will be to what you have in your head. In some ways, I actually prefer the voice recording method because, at least for me, when I'm writing anything, I will self revise so much that I often lose track of little details that I naturally speak through. Once you're done with that, the next step is to place your voice recording idea into your first AI model of choice. The point here is to take all the information that you spoke through and have it understood by an AI model, and then organized in a way that is easy to convey to you and to them. You can even ask the model, for example, ChatGPT, Claude, or even Grok, what other information they would need to build that app. The really cool thing about these applications is that they can actually go very in depth with all the questions they ask you, and you get a really refined idea by doing this. And the last thing you're going to do is put this new refined prompt in a text-based AI app developer. In my case, this was Figma Make, but there's plenty of other platforms out there. And I'm sure if you're just doing some research and look online, you'll probably find the best one for you. After that, there is some nuance to getting your app from the development stage to the launch stage. To my knowledge, there's some blocks in the way, especially with Apple, because in order to have an app, you actually have to register for the App Store. And to do that, you have to be a developer, which has some fees associated with it. So, at least for Apple, there's a few more steps that are a bit complicated, but for web based apps and even Android based ones, the process should be pretty simple and you should be able to access your newly created app within a few minutes of producing it. The only real bottleneck is the idea of compute in tokens, which is a kind of new concept to me, but makes sense when you think about how AI is utilized. So, for a lot of AI software, they will use some sort of token system to track how much compute you're using for each prompt. And when that depletes, you'll have to wait some designated period before you can use the AI again. Otherwise, you'll have to pay for a subscription. A lot of these subscriptions, from what I saw, were not horrible, ranging from like $10 to $20 a month. But honestly, I just like what I've been able to gain from using the free versions of these. So, if you're like me and your project is not super serious, I recommend just trying it for free before you decide to go with a more expensive plan. So, I'm curious to hear from you guys. Have you guys tried a similar method before and developed your own apps using AI? Do you guys think that AI is a complete hoax and it do you guys think that AI is a complete hoax and it's not going to be nearly as powerful as the media says it will? Please let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.